Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to episode 303 of the Words About Games podcast, a weekly news, culture, and gaming podcast for Words About Games. I'm your host, Amy K. Alexander. I'm joined this week by I'm gonna clever one. So I try to think of these things in the moment, and my brain fails me recently. Daft Moody.
Hello, everybody. It's Monday. You know what that means. My Lucario is here. Look at him. Look at him. Worship him.
It's Monday. Yes. You know what that means? Toy reviews with Daft Moody.
Funko Pop reviews, yeah. Yes, I am back once again. I've got one more episode for you guys, and then I'm gone for 5 weeks. You're going to love it. You're going to have the highest ratings ever, Amy, when I'm gone.
So how are you?
I'm not bad at all. I'm pretty chill. I won't lie. I'm a little tired, but I'm chill at the same time.
Chill's good. Chill's chill.
Good.
Chill.
Yeah. How are you?
I did another stream today.
Oh, I saw.
The podcast. So if I could get a consistent schedule for other things in my life, it'd be great, because I'm kind of digging this whole do a stream, have some food, chill out, do a podcast, and then it's a nice little woo for the day.
So what you're saying, you need to win the lottery.
I mean, I would just say I could just have a consistent schedule. But yeah, I mean, that would give me a consistent schedule, right? So I win the lottery, I'd just be like, okay, well, I guess I'll work for Words About Games now.
Yeah.
And so does Moody, because I just paid him £1 million.
Great. I wouldn't stop my day job. I worked hard to get to the fucker.
I guess see it, man. You start your own video game company.
Oh, no. Just no. I would have you in the background.
No, you wouldn't. I don't give a shit. If I just won the lottery, Moody, it's not like it's my money.
Yeah, that's true.
You lost all my money? Oh, well, plenty more where that came from. I won the lottery.
And she hasn't invested it in normal capitalists do.
No. I say if I won the lottery, I would sort out some of my own stuff, and then I would buy myself somewhere to live.
A condo.
Yeah, somewhere cool to live. It would probably be out in the countryside somewhere, right? As long as paradoxically somewhere with good internet, so not too far out into the countryside. Because if I want to keep doing this, right, I'm gonna need the internet. It's kind of important for everything we do here at Words About Games. And then I would go around. I always said my next step would be just to go around Twitter and just find loads of GoFundMes for trans people and just fill them.
You go on trans support streams and you just go, oh, what's your goal?
Oh, you need you're raising money for top surgery. How much do you need? Oh, $10,000. Cool. And then I was never here.
She just goes, my God,
disappear.
Bye.
Anonymous
Next stream.
Anonymous donation. I'd just be like, whoa, and then I'd watch the reaction, and then I'd be like swish the cape as I walk off into the alleyway that's covered in steam for some reason. Find the next one.
Edna from Incredible says no capes.
Edna can suck it. I'm having a cape. Capes are dramatic. I'm all about drama.
Are they like fezzes? They're cool.
They're cool. Fezzes are cool.
Fezzes are cool. Speaking of fezzes, what are your thoughts on the new Doctor Who?
Knew you were going to do that.
Of course I was going to do that.
How can
I am intrigued.
How can I make this about Doctor Who?
Oh yeah.
Well, I was wrong to think I was going to be disappointed, so that's good.
I'm so happy to think you're not disappointed.
You told me on the stream, you were like, they've cast a new Doctor Who, and I was just like, you know what? I've just started the stream. Moody's already having a go at me because I'm whinging too much about Horizon. And if
I'm having a go with you.
And if it puts me in a bad mood, I'm just going to be even worse. So I'll just
set you off stream about Horizon, not about one stream.
I'll just leave it. So I left it, and then I was like, oh, cool. We've talked about the Doctor Who thing. before, because like, everybody gets rumored and linked to it, and I was like, as
Yeah,
long as it's not a straight white cis dude, I'm fine, and it's a queer black cis dude, so I'm cool. We're good. This is good.
I have no idea who this person is at all. All I know is that they're from Sex Education on Netflix, which apparently I hear was very good.
Nelly really liked it, and it was like, I think it was like literally the next thing I was going to watch before I binged Netflix.
Yeah. So he's one of the youngest, isn't he? He's 29.
Yeah, I think he is actually the youngest.
Yeah, I was going to say, how young was Matt Smith? Was he in his early 30s when he was revealed? Or was he in his late 20s as well?
Google might be able to answer this. How old was Matt Smith when he became a doctor? One of the greatest doctors ever. 26 years old. Oh, I might actually. He's 26 years old. So I wasn't.
Wow, so he's not. So Matt Smith was still the youngest. Wow.
He was 3 years younger than Peter Davison was at the time of his casting as the Doctor in 1981.
Ooh, very fancy. But I'm always excited when it comes to like a new Doctor because it's going to be a new iteration. It's always fascinating to see what they're going to do with it. I know a lot of people were very upset with what they did with the stories and like the lore of Doctor when it came to Jodie Whittaker's incarnation, even though that's nothing she could do anything about that, ladies and gentlemen, just so we all know this. She did not have the choice here. She was just hired and to do the job. But what I did see, she did a very good, credible job.
The last one was good. Not the last one, because I haven't watched the Easter one. The New Year's Day special. It's really good. I really enjoyed that. That was the last thing I saw.
So that means... So yeah, it's got to be Christmas that she'll regenerate.
Yeah, it'll be New Year, because I don't think they don't do Christmas anymore. They do New Year.
Oh, did they? Okay, yeah. Well, either way, yeah, that's gonna be. I'm gonna be fascinated to see that. Like I said, I always like to see this new iteration because they need to grab you. I think right off the beginning. Like Matt Smith grabbed me instantly.
Matt Smith's first episode was the best first episode for a new Doctor in new Doctor Who.
For me, him reveal and regeneration was amazing because one, I'm emotional and crying, thinking, "Don't go, David Tennant," because he was amazing, David Tennant. But then he came and I was just like, "Oh, this is so weird." Oh my god, I like it. At the end of it, when he just screamed out Geronimo, and I was like,
"No,
I'm in." I don't know what I'm seeing, but I am in and everything. And then obviously the first episode was arguably one of the greatest first episodes of a new Doctor reveal ever.
Definitely.
I love that ending where he's just basically,
I'm the Doctor. Run. Basically, run.
Run.
I like that.
Looking like a school teacher.
No, he was cool. I love the fact that he was super weird.
Yeah,
you would expect
he was amazing.
An alien
no doubt
to be.
About it.
But yeah, no, Matt Smith was a great Doctor.
Yeah,
Jodie Whittaker's run on Doctor Who is like every other run of Doctor Who for me personally. Of new Doctor Who, because I've watched a bit of classic Doctor Who, but not a great deal. So when I'm talking Doctor Who, I'm really just talking the new stuff, where it's just there's good episodes and there's bad episodes, and the story arcs are always bad. And I tend to just watch them and go, okay, cool. They've got some fun moments in there. I appreciate it, but the story arcs, I tend to just let them wash over me and just be whatever, because there's cool standalone episodes.
Yeah.
And they're the things that I watch, like the Vincent van Gogh episode, or the episode where David Tennant's on that train, and there's the monster outside, and the whole thing's on one location and stuff. And I'm just those are the episodes I watch Doctor Who for.
Oh, there's some incredible Doctor Who's. There's no doubt about it. There's some amazing Doctor Who's. What else? So you're going to see Thor in July, yeah? Thor: Love and Thunder.
He's doing everything he can
to
delay me talking about Star Trek until we have to start the podcast.
I'll happily talk about Star Trek. I have no problem with that whatsoever.
I'm going to see Thor in July.
Thor: Love and Thunder in July. Yeah.
I'm
the
thinking
picture of my future. The picture of my future wife and future husband was just perfect. I was just I will happily squeeze in between both of them and just let whatever happens.
I'm you know me, I'm very invested in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
You are very invested in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Exactly.
So invested. Squirrel Girl's your favorite character.
Wait, is she in the MCU now?
No.
I read spoilers about who's in Doctor Strange, and I was like, cool.
Yeah, I know the spoilers for Doctor Strange as well, which doesn't bother me whatsoever. I'm seeing that the day this episode releases and everything, and I'm still excited. I won't lie though, the most important thing though for me, for when I go and see this, and it's the only thing that will, this is the most important thing for me, ladies and gentlemen. If the Avatar 2 trailer is not in front of this film, I will walk out of that cinema screaming and crying and being very unhappy. I'm probably leaving my partner because I think she'll just laugh and then just watch the film.
I think she wants. I think she probably wants to see the film, right?
Yeah, she wants to see. She's a what's the term
Cumberbatch fan.
Cumberbitch, isn't it?
Cumberbitch. Wait, hold on.
Cumberbitch.
Cumberbitch.
So,
yes,
it's going to be interesting. Yeah. Oh, thank God! I was going to say somebody's going to come up reading here, innit? Yeah, she's a Cumberbitch. Yeah, but oh, he's a very handsome man, so that's the night to see it. But yeah, it's I'm very fascinated to see what's going to happen. So like,
it's weird. Benedict Cumberbatch. I really enjoy his performances as an actor, but I was just thinking there, because I was going to give an example. And then I was like, I really enjoy his performances as an actor. And then I was like, have I ever seen him in anything that I liked? Avengers? Sure. Yeah, I liked Avengers Endgame. He was in that. No Way Home. There you go. See, I'm a massive MCU fan.
If you want to see a good film with him in it, Imagination Game.
He
is amazing in that.
Okay.
Absolutely amazing in that.
It's like he's been in a lot of things I haven't liked, but he's been good in them. A bit like Star Trek Picard. Nah.
Yeah, Star Trek Picard. I hear it's a 10 out of 10 season. Last 2 episodes are like the greatest episodes of sci-fi history I've heard. Oh, wait, no. Oh, that's the ending of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I forgot.
Star Trek Picard Season 2 is worse than... What's the worst season of Star Trek that's ever happened, in your opinion? Because I was going to go to the first season of The Next Generation. This seeing like probably... Or the third season of the original series. Or the first season of Discovery.
I can't remember. Like, I've never really been fully invested in the Next Generation franchise. Like, I think basically I enjoyed from season 3 onwards. There's no doubt about that. But I was also very late to the Generation series. I am a very old series fan. Like, I'm a big fan of Captain Kirk and all that generation. I think it's what I grew up with, and like all the films and everything. So Generation I've never really been hooked with.
All right.
For me, I would say that the first season of Picard is pretty bad.
All right.
As well.
Well, this is worse. I was going to go Final Frontier because when you said the movies, I was going to do
Final Frontier. Yeah,
I was going to say what does God need with a starship? And it's worse than that. Like the first 2 episodes were really good, and there's some really cool stuff in the season as it goes on. But the more I was thinking about it, the more I was like, the cool stuff is cool because the actors in the TV show are really, really good. Like, I don't think like anyone on the main cast, I would say it was bad, but the series is terrible. And then you get to the 9th episode, I thought was the bottom of the barrel. I thought we'd hit the bottom of the barrel. When I watched that, I was like, Jesus, okay. And then like, the last episode happened, and I was like, this is orders of magnitude worse. Yet, one of the best scenes in new Star Trek, like from Discovery onwards, one of the best scenes in all of new Star Trek happens in the Picard season 2 finale. And I was like, that was awesome. And everything else, moody. If you care about Picard spoilers, go down, there's timestamps, click it, go to the next part of the podcast, because I'm just going to say right now, it's fucking wild. What happens in the last episode of Picard. They deal with the whole Europa mission thing in like 20 minutes. I knew I was in trouble when this was a 50-minute episode, because I was like, you don't have 50 minutes worth of plot left. But anyway, the first 20 minutes, it's all done. Europa mission succeeds without a hitch. In fact, with barely any effort whatsoever. And then there's 10 minutes of, well, I guess we're stuck in the 22nd century or whenever they are. This century, right? It's like 3 years from now.
I think they're the 21st century.
Yeah. Well, guess we're stuck here. And then Q shows up, has an incredible scene with Picard, which
Yeah,
I'm not going to spoil.
That
scene is fucking incredible. I don't want to take anything away from it. It's amazing. But then anyway, they get back to the point where they left in the first episode, and then an entire season's worth of plot happens in 10 minutes. Like, they just...
In 10 minutes?
They just burn through what could have been half a season easily in 10 minutes. It's like an assault on the senses.
Really?
It's like, what's happening? Why is this all happening so fast?
I kind of now want to watch it.
Watch it. It's a train wreck. They introduce an entirely new problem and solve it in 10 minutes.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. And then we get back to it being the finale again. And then you watch the thing, and it's like the characters that are there, Picard, Guinan's there, like our Guinan, who turns out remembered all of the stuff that happened in LA. And I was like, how's that fucking mesh with everything that's happened before? That doesn't make any sense, but okay, anyway. And then like Seven and Raffi and Elnor. And then like it just kind of ends. It just kind of stops. It doesn't really end as much as it just goes, well, that's season 2 in the bank.
It's really funny to me that you were winding people up on Twitter about Picard season 2.
Because
they got very, very anal about it, and by the end of the season, you're like,
I was like, oh,
it's terrible! Oh my god,
what the fuck? Like, to be clear, like from like 3 onwards, I was starting to feel a bit like episode 3 onwards. I was starting to feel a bit like, oh, this is like losing the momentum from those first 2 amazing episodes, and then like, but I'm just at the point now where I'm just like, it's fucking hell. Like, they don't know how to structure and pace the story.
And they still haven't showed the Enterprise, have they?
They still haven't showed the Enterprise, no. There is a Galaxy-class ship you can just see in the last episode as part of a big fleet. It's part of like a big fleet. But no, I was just like, I got the end. And then you go on I went on Twitter because I watched it the night after it came on in the UK. So I went on Twitter and I was like, everybody's leaving. And I was like, okay, I kind of expected that most of the current cast wouldn't be in it because they can't, otherwise they have to pay all of the next generation cast. But I was like, that's how you ended it with all of these characters? Really?
So what, all the cast who were in the original season 2 seasons are not in the season 3 at all?
So far, the guy who plays Elnor isn't in it. I
love him.
Which is mind-blowing. He's a great character. And, like, again, we're deep in the spoiler territory here, so I hope you clicked away if you didn't want spoilers, because they go to all the effort of bringing him back to life, and then he's in it for, like, a minute, and then he's not going to be in season 3. Agnes isn't going to be in it, which makes sense. Rios isn't going to be in it, which is a shame.
I loved Rios.
Rios is cool.
Agnes, that's a science girl, yeah?
Agnes not being in it based on everything that happens in the season finale is the stupidest decision I've ever seen in my entire life coming out of a TV show.
She should never have been in the second season anyway.
Trust me, you'll watch the season finale and go, wait, she's not going to be a part of season 3. No, she's not. It's fucking ridiculous. Somebody else.
She's the terrible character.
That was somebody else. The character from the first, she was Brent Spiner's daughter in this season.
Don't know that.
And she was she was the girl in the last season, like the one who went to Picard. Yeah.
Oh, her. Yeah. Well, was she only like just in a couple of episodes anyway?
This season, she was in most of the episodes.
Oh, was she? Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
For no real reason. Her ending in this season is absolutely buck wild. Like, it's incredible. It's how insane it is. How it has nothing to do with anything that's happening, and it's just like, shit, we better write this character an ending.
So is Seven coming back, Jerry?
So Jerry Ryan already said that she is coming back in season 3. And I imagine Michelle Hurd, who plays Raffi, is probably coming back, but no one knows.
The thing is about it, I really do not like how Seven's been portrayed in these 2 seasons, because I'm still very incredibly fascinated of thinking,
we'll get the video games in a second. This is important. I say we'll get the video games in a second. This is important.
Yeah. I'm just because I want to know at the end of the day, I want to know what the hell happened between her and Chakotay. I want to know what the hell's happened between her and Janeway, because they were arguably best friends at the end of the season 7.
I think there's a mention of it in the. Was it? They mentioned it last time.
They never mentioned. Apart from one little thing, apart from like one little offline and everything, I'm just like, that was an incredibly important part of your life. Those 4 years with Voyager crew. I can appreciate you going into on other adventures and everything, and how it started for her coming into season 1 was very powerful, because she goes to try and saves basically her stepson.
Every entrance she made in Star Trek Picard was dramatic, if nothing else. Yeah. Like, I mean, but this is the series where I don't know if you noticed, but all Seven and Raffi did for 3 episodes was wander up and down alleyways. For like 3 episodes. Like, they
threw them together at the end of season 1 when there was no chemistry between them in the first season.
No chemistry between Agnes and the Borg Queen.
They're holding hands at the end. It's like, wait.
Where did that come from? I mean, cool.
I have no problem with the relationship. I'm just like, but can you make sense somehow of how you guys have come together?
I don't know if you've noticed, but like, they don't like, and I hate shitting on people's work, but they don't know how to make it make sense. And what terrifies me is season 3's already been filmed. So the people they filmed it right after season 2. It's already done. Like, so the people that made what I just watched also made season 3. And it's already done. They can't do anything about it. And I'm going to watch it because it's got all the characters in it, but I'm going to hate it.
You have to see it. Yeah, you want to know, how are they going to ruin Worf? Deep Space Nine fixed him, but put him back with Generation, they'll fuck him over again.
Deep Space Nine made him my favorite Next Generation character.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You know, I was like on Twitter, I think a week ago, going, oh, it'd be cool if they brought I wish they'd bring Deep Space Nine back. And I've just finished watching Picard season 2, and I'm like, actually, don't.
Oh, don't come back.
Don't touch it.
Don't come back. Don't. Yeah, so I'm looking on Rotten Tomatoes right now. Funny enough, with the critics, it's actually pretty high with them. It's on 87%.
Is that not just from the first episode, though?
No, that's a culmination, I believe it is. I'll have a look.
Because I don't think I think.
Yeah. So season 1, it's 87% fresh with them, and season 2 is 87% fresh with them as well. But overall, 41% of the average audience score. The audience do not like these seasons.
Yeah, no. All the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes are from March 3rd, so they're all from the first episode.
Oh.
Like they're all from the beginning of March, which makes sense. The first episode felt like it fixed a lot of the problems.
You guys really need to fix your algorithm, guys.
It felt like it fixed a lot of the problems from the first season, because it was like the first episodes were great. They were fast.
Great, yeah.
They set up a great story. They got all the characters back together really quickly, and it was like, this is awesome. And then,
apart from Agnes being in it,
everything happened. I like Agnes. Please stop.
I hate her. I hate her so much. Like, I wish her to die. I'm sorry.
On that note, please stop. No, I'm going to keep going. All right.
I'm going! No, I'm trying to think. I've watched Moon Knight.
It's 25 minutes into the podcast.
So?
Let's start the show.
Banner. You said it's some of people's favourite parts of the banter.
Yeah, the banter. Like,
we're bantering.
I know we're bantering. We've bantered.
Fine, I'll bring up Moon Knight next week on my final episode.
Bring out Moon Knight next week. The Moon Knight discussion is not going to be very good because I haven't seen it.
I know.
And I don't plan on watching it. So
Oscar Isaac's awesome.
Oscar Isaac is awesome. This is the Words About Games podcast. Every Monday, you get the video version of the show on youtube.com/wordsaboutgamesuk or an audio version on a variety of platforms, including Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and more. There are timestamps in the description wherever you choose to get your podcasts, so you can see what we've been chatting about. I'll probably actually have to make that Star Trek Picard discussion an actual timestamp. You can skip around, or you can watch the entire podcast backwards if you like. We don't mind. We're just happy that you're here. If you'd like to support the show or our content directly, you can buy us a coffee over at coffee.com. twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. Lastly, if you want to hang out with us while we play some games, head over to twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. And if you want to hear us talk about and review some video games, we publish reviews on our YouTube channel, even though we haven't for a month because Amy got sick with COVID. But they're coming back. I got 2 almost ready to go. So,
and I'm working.
And he's working. Like, I don't know.
I haven't played anything.
I wrote you off as I wrote you after all of our big talks at the beginning of the year about all of the games you were going to review. I kind of wrote you off as a game reviewer for the future. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm still doing my plan of reviewing less games because I can't be asked. I mean, that's reductive. I can be asked. I just choose not to be.
Well, I think the conversation you and Elf had on the podcast, like in the second episode after I went, was I think pretty eye-opening for you. I think both for you, I think it's just like you have a preferred way of how you prefer to do your reviews, and that's a proper in-depth thing. And I think that's something you should probably explore.
I am exploring it. Well, I've been exploring it. I'm doing my retrospectives. I still haven't announced what my next retrospective is, but if you look at the screen, if you're watching the video version of this podcast, maybe there's a clue lying around somewhere. I don't know. But anyway, should we get in these movies like that? Clue? Where? You already know what it is.
That's true.
You're just looking to see where the clue is now, aren't you?
I'm trying to see. I can't see because you haven't got anything lit up in the back, so I can't tell. But I know something's there. That's maybe about what you're doing.
There is definitely something there. Maybe there's something else. Yeah. Ooh. Anyway, let's talk about video games and video game related subjects. Almost 30 minutes into the podcast. I love having you back, Mooney. Do you know how hard it is to get some other people to banter at the beginning of the podcast? It's difficult. You are calling you to shut up.
So that Moon Knight, Oscar Isaac.
Square Enix is selling Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, and its Western studios. This is from Andrew Webster over at The Verge, who writes, Square Enix is selling off its 3 major Western game studios along with the associated video game properties, which includes big names like Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, and Thief. The studios and properties are set to be acquired by Embracer Group for an estimated $300 million. Following regulatory approvals, the acquisition is set to be finalized between July and September of this year. In total, Embracer is acquiring Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, and Square Enix Montreal. I really hope they keep the name Square Enix Montreal. That'd be hilarious. Which amounts to, quote, 1,100 employees across 3 studios and 8 global locations, end quote. In terms of game properties, the company will be the steward of brands including Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Thief, and Legacy of Kain, quote, along with continued sales and operations of the studio's more than 50 back catalogue games, end quote. Among other games already in development, Crystal Dynamics recently announced that it's working on a new Tomb Raider title. Embracer is quietly becoming a huge publishing group, which operates more than 100 studios, including the likes of Borderlands developer Gearbox, Saber Interactive, and THQ Nordic. It also owns comics and entertainment brand Dark Horse. Embracer says that when the deal with Square Enix closes, it will have a total of 124 internal studios and 14,000 employees. Quote, we are thrilled to welcome these studios into the Embracer Group. We recognize the fantastic IP, world-class creative talent, and track record of excellence that have been demonstrated time and again over the past decades. It's been a pleasure meeting the leadership teams and discussing future plans for how they can realize their ambitions and become a great part of Embracer, end quote. It's a lot of video game studios.
Yeah, a lot of video games studios indeed. I tweeted this out, but then I deleted it. Interesting when I saw this. Yeah, okay. I was very interested by this because I was there. And then I started thinking about it, and I was just like, "This isn't a surprise to me," because every year when Square do their annual thing, they trash on their Western studios.
Right.
Every single financial year, every single year. Even though some of those studios have put out some amazing games, revitalized some amazing franchises and everything, they get trashed on all the time by Square because they haven't hit what they believe they should be hitting when it comes to the financials.
Sure.
So this is very not surprising to me that they have sold them. The price is incredibly surprising.
The price is interesting.
Embracer have got them cheap, incredibly cheap, with the power of how much of the IPs they bought with that as well. It's incredible.
I would be fascinated to learn how this deal came about, because you can't tell me that if Microsoft knew that these three studios were up for grabs and the going price was $300 million, that they wouldn't have outbid Embracer for this, for the IP.
Yeah. So heck, even same goes for Sony, but I think Sony have gone for bigger fish.
PlayStation have got a very specific acquisition strategy, and I don't know that this would have necessarily fit in with that strategy. But
I think what I put in Discord, I think is pretty spot on. I think Sony are going to buy Square.
I mean, been saying this for a while. Sure. Like you've talked about it for a while. I'm putting
this is them slimming down to make their price even more.
Sure. I've seen those. I've seen the think pieces and the opinion pieces about it.
Yeah. I know nothing. Just so everyone's to know, I know I work for PlayStation.
I was about to say,
but I'm at the bottom of the fucking barrel here.
Can we just
put that out there? I work for PlayStation.
Before one of us or both of us get into trouble. Like I've put a moratorium on. Because I've noticed something. Here's a little side tangent before I start talking about Square Enix. I've noticed that more and more news articles these days on a lot of video game websites are Jeff Grubb said this or Greg Miller said this. I'm sick of it, okay? Like Moody said this
before Greg.
Yeah, Moody said this. But what? Like, can we not just have like hearsay as news? Because it's starting to really fucking get on my nerves. Anyway.
Yes, either way.
The
reason, but sorry, can I just put in quickly?
Sure.
The reasoning what Square have give is pathetic and disgusting.
It's on brand.
But it's on brand at the same time. But what they revealed at the beginning of the year, or the end of last year, whatever, wasn't it?
When the Square Enix president declared the end of fun, yes, that was January 1st. It was a great way to start 2022.
Yes, it really was, yes, indeed. But no, yeah. But it's like what you said, is perfectly on brand.
It's on brand.
Deciding to what they want to go for and everything.
They're gonna make Bored Ape Final Fantasy characters and sell them as NFTs, and
yeah, we'll see
it's gonna end really well for them, I'm sure, because crypto's not a scam. What are you talking about?
And let's just be frank here, that'll just make the price even more juicier for Sony.
It will when everything goes down. When it lowers their price, Sony will get them for less than. Imagine Sony buying Square Enix for less than $300 million. That'd be amazing. No, yeah, I mean the thing you hit on was like, I mean, it's like sales figures aside, and I'm going to get into sales figures of the IPs that some of the IPs that Embracer just bought. But like, yeah, Square Enix has always trashed their Western studios because they've never known what to do with them. Like, if I'm sorry, but the top three best-selling games in the Tomb Raider franchise are Tomb Raider 2013, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Like, if they're not hitting your sales targets, Tomb Raider's not the problem. Like, you're the problem because these are the three best-selling, by some incredible distance, three of the best-selling games in the series.
The sequel was exclusive for a while.
I mean, Rise of the Tomb Raider came out on Xbox.
That was
on the same day as Fallout 4. So, did pretty well for itself. Shadow of the Tomb Raider did incredibly well considering you never told anyone it was coming out. Keith, our former co-host, my former co-host on this podcast, is probably one of the biggest fans of the rebooted Tomb Raider games I know. And like, we were on the podcast the week it was coming out, and I said, "Oh, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is coming out," and he was like, "What?" Like, yeah, it's coming out this Friday. And he was like, "I didn't know that." Like, Square Enix doesn't market his games not his Western games. Yeah. It frequently mishandles them. Like, I'm not a big fan of acquisitions, as everybody knows. From a personal, a person standpoint, people working in the studios and stuff. But I saw this news and I saw what Square said about its reasons for doing this.
Yeah.
And everything that Square has ever said about these three studios, and I just kind of think
thank God.
Thank God.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the only time I've been this might actually be good.
Yeah, hopefully. Like this is like what the article was saying. Like Embracer was quietly become one of the biggest publishers,
The fucking
publishing
Borg?
groups in the world. They have over 424 Eternal Studios with 14,000 employees.
Yep.
And they're about to add to that, and that's incredible. And like, if they, as long as they looking after these teams and looking after these studios and give them free reign just to go out and create some amazing games. I know everyone's like hopefully screaming. Everyone's like, well, not everyone. People are screaming for maybe bring back Deus Ex.
Please bring back Deus Ex.
Like
Please.
we just talked about what was like a couple of weeks ago. The Tomb Raider was coming back. They're doing another Tomb Raider, and then this happens, and I'm just like, what the hell? But go for it. Like, go for it. I'm happy for them. As long as it works out. If we hear things down the line, I'm just gonna be like, God's sakes.
Mismanagement, toxicity, layoffs, like, then it's gonna be like, then I retract my statement of saying this might actually be a good thing.
Yeah.
Like, but I remember thinking the same thing when IO Interactive bought themselves from Square Enix. I was like, good. Like, I think
they have been successful. Like Hitman 3,
Hitman 3
work for me. It was very successful, and now they're doing a James Bond game.
Was it bigger? It was bigger than Hitman 2 for sure.
Which will arguably, if they just make a decent game with this James Bond game, because of the IP power alone, will probably become their most successful franchise ever. Yeah. No offense, Hitman.
No, definitely. I mean, James Bond, Hitman. It's like Hitman's a great franchise, and I love it. I love it dearly. But even I'll be like, James Bond is a bigger deal. It's James Bond.
It's James fucking Bond.
Sorry, but no, like I don't know, like I don't. It's my relationship towards Square Enix is weird because I don't hate them and I love like the franchises they've got, but at the same time I kind of do hate them, and I'm glad that people are getting away from them.
Yeah. It's a really weird one. I agree with you there. Like it's just like some of my favorite games. My favorite game of last year is a Square Enix game.
Mine was an indie game. Amy, come on.
Yeah.
Square Enix still on Life is Strange, unfortunately.
My favorite game of all time is a Square Enix game. One of your favorite games, if not favorite game of all time, Final Fantasy VII, I believe, is a Square Enix game.
I stopped trying to rank my favorite games of all time a long time ago because I was just like, I'm going to have
I don't rank them. I just say, this is my favorite game. I grew up on this game.
I say that.
This is why I love it.
I say that, but about 30 games, I think. Like, right, it's my favorite game. You'll be like, talking about Final Fantasy VII. I'll be like, it's my favorite game. And then we'll 5 minutes later, we could be talking about Bloodborne. I'll be like, it's my favorite game.
all the games that you like are your favorite games.
They're all my favorite games are all my favorite games.
Exactly.
I'm not picking favorites. They're all my children.
And that's why only one game will be on her list this year, and that'll be Elden Ring. Because nothing else will eclipse it.
You'd be surprised.
Near it.
Oh, there's been some games that have come near it. Sure.
But good luck to the entire teams for what you do, for what your future could be here and everything. And we spoke about, I think, like Embracer buying Gearbox.
We did.
And everything
for $1 billion.
And we were just like, it gets Randy freaking Pitchford away from them, and they've been quiet ever since. And then obviously they just slowly announced Tales of the Borderlands Season 2 coming.
I thought Randy Pitchford still worked there.
No, I thought he left.
Yeah. Randy Pitchford.
Why am I typing this man's name in here?
Oh, I hate what this podcast sometimes has to make me. No, okay. Stepping back from games. Oh, okay. So he's still the president and CEO. He's stepping back on games to focus on
the film, eh?
Oh, I don't want fucking cookies.
Or is it more magicians?
Stepping back from games to focus on the company's broader efforts to break into film and TV as president of the publisher's new Gearbox Studios subsidiary.
Yeah, you're doing such a great job that all the actors hate you, mate. Great job. But yes, good luck to the teams, like I've said already.
Hell yeah. Be cool to see, like, not just Deus Ex coming back. Because you already know Tomb Raider's coming back. But, like, actually, like, new entries in, like, classic franchises that Square Enix arbitrarily decided that no one wants to buy anymore.
I am not curious What's gonna happen with Avengers?
This is what I was going to ask, because I was going to like, there's an elephant in the room, and that elephant is called Marvel, because Avengers is Crystal Dynamics' game. As far as I'm aware, it's an Embracer game. I think they even come out and said, yeah, it's an Embracer game now. And like, so like, I guess what I'm curious about is what was the wording of the deal with Marvel? Because obviously,
It's
you
their
know,
franchise. It's not-
Avengers is their game. Guardians of the Galaxy
This
was
will always
an
give a
Eidos
better
Montreal
chance that
game.
a sequel might happen now for
But-
Guardians.
Yeah, if the contract, I don't like. It'd be fascinating to see how the contract works. Whether the contract is with Eidos or whether the contract was with Square Enix to make that game. Because I suppose it depends who currently has the rights to Guardians of the Galaxy's potential sequel. Or, I don't know.
Yeah, there's no doubt about how the wording is on the contract and everything like that. Will be the interesting thing. I think we'll find out soon. I think I'll be surprised if we don't hear something by the end of the year from Embracer saying something about their studios.
We're making
Obviously,
another Guardians of the Galaxy game, and I'll be like, cool. I hope this one works on my PlayStation because I really want to play it.
yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, it's just waiting for the deal to go through, isn't it? It's obviously has to go through
July
all
to
the-
September time. And then
so.
they're probably already like drawing up like battle plans of what they want studios to work on. I'm
Just let them
intrigued.
do whatever the hell they want, Embracer. Yeah. If that's what you're doing with all your other studios, just let them do whatever the hell they want and just finance them.
There's so many. They own so many studios. I'd be surprised if they could actually exert that much control over them in the first place.
They own more studios than Sony and Microsoft combined.
And Nintendo,
That's insane.
and Capcom, and EA.
How is that? They've quietly just come in and said,
I don't know why everybody
we
keeps.
have all of this.
Yeah, you will be as resistance is futile. I don't know why everybody keeps saying quietly because it's like I feel like we keep saying like, oh, Embracer bought this, Embracer bought this, Embracer bought this, and it's just like, wow, they've quietly been amassing. I mean, not quietly.
I
that's
only
illegal.
remember the Gearbox one because it says it in this article that I reminded that we talked about it last year. So for me, they have done it incredibly quietly.
When a deal went through, I believe the Activision Blizzard deal was announced with Microsoft, and I can't remember who. I want to say it was Imran, but I'm not sure. Someone posted that graphic of like the companies and then who they all owned, and like Embracer was like the right hand side of that graphic.
Sony, these studios, Microsoft, all these.
Yeah. It was
Embrace
like
this
EA,
entire side page.
Microsoft, Embracer. And it was boom. Here's all of Embracer. Like they own the rest of the industry, I guess. I don't know, but like.
So when's Embracer going to buy Sony or Nintendo?
Give
Just
them
own
time.
a console.
They're just gonna launch their own console. Can you imagine the exclusives they'd have at this point?
Oh fucking hell! That would be a banger. That like. But, yeah.
Oh dear. It'll be the Embracer console will just be a cube, and it'll be called the Borg.
The Borg. The Borg.
Because that's what they do. They just like. Or they're the Federation, like that speech in Deep Space Nine with Garrick in Quark. It's insidious.
But then, you kind of like it. If you drink it long enough.
If you drink it long enough, you learn to like it.
You like it.
Just like the Federation.
Federation.
Fuck, I need to rewatch that. It's so
I know
good.
what you're making me. All right, enough of this. Episode.
I don't have
Bye,
Netflix
guys.
anymore. I'm gonna have to wait until summer when Paramount Plus comes out. God damn it. Okay, let's move on. Summer Game Fest confirmed for June 9th, and you can watch it in IMAX. This is from Marcus Stewart over at Game Informer. He writes, it's coming out June 9th. Jeff Keighley first announced the event's return in March, almost immediately after word of E3 2022's cancellation. Summer Game Fest begins at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, which would be 6 p.m. British time, because I think that's when the times get a bit weird, because they have their daylight savings. They have their daylight savings at a different time as us.
When is the Eastern, did you say?
Hold
again?
on. There's an easy way to find out. Summer Games Fest,
That's 6 or 7 o'clock
2022
for us.
UK time. 5 p.m. BST. No.
Yeah. They're 5 hours behind us, I believe.
Oh no, that's when the tickets are going to be available on Thursday. 7 p.m. UK, 8 p.m. European.
That's not a bad time, though.
They're all pretty reasonable. It's not like the days of
No.
E3 where everything's happening at like 2 a.m. and I'm trying to fucking stay awake watching the Sony PlayStation press conference on a live stream and everybody's like, Amy, why aren't you more hyped? And I'm like, because I've been up all day watching this
Because
shit and
I've
I can't stay awake.
between my eyes, holding them up.
However, that time of night was the perfect time to watch a Devolver Digital showcase, so it's hard to be too mad about all of that. Like, you watch a big run of very serious press conferences and you're super tired because you've been going for 14 hours and it's 3 a.m. and then here comes Devolver Digital. It's like, I'm in the perfect place for this. Yeah, you watch it in IMAX theaters. It's cool, I guess. The game trailers will look really nice in IMAX, I suppose. But, yeah, it's happening. I think I literally said this last week, didn't I? Or I was like, Summer Game Fest will be on June whatever, and you went, what day is that? And I went, whichever the Thursday is before E3, because that's where Jeff Keighley did it last year.
Which is the 9th.
Which is the 9th, it is.
Which is funny. Well, I guess that's 2 things we're going to be reacting to.
Yeah. I'll be reacting to most of it, because I'm sure there's a wholesome direct, and I want to react to that so I can sit there and going, oh my god, the entire time. It's so cute!
Oh.
Yeah, but I don't know. I put this in here because I was like, hey, it's news and it's going to be a big deal because like Elden Ring was there last year, but it's like, how do you even predict the Summer Games Fest? Like, what's going to be at the Summer Games Fest? I don't know.
I know what's going to be at the Summer
Tomb
Games
Raider.
Fest. It's the game that's been there ever since he's done the Summer Game Fest.
Elden
That's
Ring?
Death Stranding.
Oh yeah, there'll be more Death Stranding somehow. Forgot about that. Yeah.
Jeff Keighley finds a way.
Death Stranding
How
2.
can I put Death Stranding in this game? Just because it has me in it, and I have a quiet, not on-off relationship with Hideo Kojima. It may be sexual, it may not be. I don't know, because I don't think he knows himself.
Surely his next game has got to be close to being announced at this point.
Probably.
It's been almost 3 years since Death Stranding came out.
It all really depends. Like, I think there's still like a up and down, like if it's going to be Xbox or not, isn't it? I think everyone's saying is it. I think people are like thinking, Microsoft locking them in on an exclusive deal with them.
Who knows? This is another one of those Jeff Grubb says news stories that came out
Greg
fucking
Miller.
6 months ago, and then nothing ever became of it. And hey, maybe he's right, maybe he's not. But people take and even Jeff on his Twitter, Jeff Grubb. I have to say Jeff Grubb because we're talking about Jeff Keighley as well. Even Jeff Grubb on his Twitter even said like people are taking what he says as like
as
speculation
facts,
and saying it as fact.
Yeah.
And like, so even he's annoyed, like, because that's what I'm annoyed about with all this stuff. Where it's like Jeff Grubb will say, "Oh well, I've heard this, and maybe I've heard that," and then people will go, "This is definitely a thing." It's like the Silent Hill stuff that I got really mad about last year for like the 6th time, where everyone was like, "Silent Hill's definitely going to be happening," and I'd come on the podcast and be like, "Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's never going to happen."
The only thing I'll start paying attention to him is when he reveals that there's a Dino Crisis remake happening. When that happens,
you'll probably get Dino Crisis on PS Plus, right?
probably.
But it'll just be the original one.
I don't care.
But you'll get it.
I know. At least PlayStation are going to satisfy me, Capcom.
Once again, probably worth mentioning. Where you work?
Go where I work, man. Come on.
I know I'm making a joke. I'm making it into a words about games meme.
I work for Microsoft.
Were you allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Anytime someone busts in the door.
I'm sorry.
No.
Blue lights shining at me.
Just beamed up.
No.
Where's Where's he going? Where's he going? Yeah, I don't know what could possibly be at the Summer Games Fest. Like
games.
Yeah, whatever's not at the Xbox showcase or the inevitable state of play.
Adverts.
It's all just adverts.
Celebrities.
Was there any celebrities at the Summer Games Fest last year?
Pretty sure there was.
I know they were at the Game Awards because they're always at the Game Awards.
Yeah, but the Shang-Chi guy was pretty decent.
The Shang-Chi one was funny, where he was just
Halo's
like, you guys know Halo's out.
Why are we here? Halo's out.
Yeah, I thought you made. I thought he made some excellent points.
He did make some excellent points. I'm still waiting for that co-op at Microsoft Asuna.
Oh, right. Halo Infinite has not been a great success story. It's like it started off. It was like Halo's back, and then I don't know. Halo Infinite's a weird one because for me, I'm just like,
you're happy it's back, and
I'm happy that it was a great game, and I can dip in and out of it. But like, I've always been that person who's never really been bothered about like ongoing like season pass, battle pass stuff. Where it's just like, if the game's good and fun to play, I'll keep playing it. Like that's what I did with like Halo 3, where I've got like 1,000 hours in it. It's like we got some map packs. But we didn't get like constant content, and like I don't know why that's. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like old woman of the video games industry at this point. I just don't get why people are that bothered. Like, is the game fun? Yes. It's like you all know that Fortnite is on the same map every single time you jump out of the battle bus, right? Like it's generally the same game every 10 minutes. But this time I'm dressed as Spider-Man.
Don't antagonize the Fortnite fans, Amy. Don't do that.
Why not?
They'll come for us.
But it's off-brand. If I don't antagonize anyone, I'm being off-brand. It's not like I said Halo is better than Fortnite. I never said that. I never said the words in the order that Halo is better than Fortnite. I never said that. And they can't prove it.
I think I might work earlier next week.
Just a nice little Easter egg there for our video viewers. I never said Halo is better than Fortnite. Let's move on. We're going to do halftime because I don't want to crush that. I don't want to squash the next thing we're doing into like a couple of minutes. So it's time for Indie Game of the Week. Am I doing it? I'll do it. Yes.
Yes, you read.
I'll read. I'm the reader.
You're so good at reading.
Thank you. I do enjoy reading. I haven't read a book.
Entertainment spelled wrong?
Where?
It's
entertainment, because it's got an extra E in it. Unexpected is spelled wrong as well.
It is.
I just want to say I copy pasted it. So it's nothing to do with me. Anyway, it's time for Indie Game of the Week. This is the thing we do every week where we highlight one upcoming indie game and go, look at this thing. It's really cool. There's a link in the description below. This week's Indie Game of the Week is Baladins. Unveil mysteries behind the fragments of the past. Buskers, party animals, troublemakers. People gave them many names. Did you correct the spelling mistakes?
Yeah. They were irritating me.
People gave them many names, but they call themselves Baladins. They travel from one town to another to fulfill their noble quest, entertainment. A hard task with many faces, they can sing, dance, cook, and throw a party. One day they help the community, and the other they create chaos. They can be glorious, they can be annoying, and they are always unexpected. Choose between 4 original heroes. Each busker has a unique skill, from cooking to fireworks, dance, or luxomancy, the ancient magic of being very, very good at fixing lamps. Travel the strange lands of Gatherak and unravel all its secrets and legends. Everybody knows a good myth is based on some truth, and this may be a lot closer than you think. And then here's some bullet points for you. Focused on narratives. Stories don't leave anyone behind. Anybody can pick up the game no matter how much of a gamer they are. Make your own adventure. Only you can decide which path to follow and which quests to pursue. The more the merrier. Gather your friends. Adventures are meant to be shared, and hard tasks get easier when you have the whole band with you. That means it's got 4-player co-op. 1-hour game sessions. No time for 95-hour games anymore.
I feel that's a dig at someone.
I feel like that yeah, maybe. 95 hours, try 500 hours. Dying Light 2. Replay to access more content, unlock storylines, places, and characters for your next session, unique world building, a new fresh take on the heroic fantasy universe full of twists and twirls. Developed and published by Seed and coming soon to PC via Steam. There's a link in the description below the video. I will change the link in the document because it's last week's link because I've just looked at it.
I was curious, was thinking, that doesn't look
That's
like
a different game. That's a different game.
Even though that game does look visually nice.
That game does look good. Baladins looks cool. It's like a fun, quick, bite-size, like choose your own adventure D&D type thing with multiplayer. That was the thing that drew me into that, where I was like, hey, this game looks cute. 4 people can play it.
Sweet.
Cool. We like that. We like multiplayer
like that,
here
indeed.
where it's about games.
You want to know what I like, though, even more, Amy?
What do you like even more? If you say Dino Crisis, I'm going to punch you.
It's the new DLC that's coming to Let's Build a Zoo.
Ah,
That has dinosaurs in it, Amy. It has dinosaurs. They're bringing dinosaurs to Let's Build a Zoo. Mike Rose, you're a goddamn mother freaking genius.
It's not Dino Crisis, but it is
Thank
dinosaurs.
you.
Maybe I'll just flick you on the nose. It's like a fair compromise. We're gonna meet up for lunch. We're gonna meet up for lunch one day, and I'm just gonna whip out a spray bottle and just be like,
Dino Crisis, no!
"Stop talking about Dino Crisis."
Well, I know I'm getting my Final Fantasy IX remake. Thank you, NVIDIA, for that leak. So it's just a Dino Crisis now, and I'm good. It's
Bucket list is literally.
I'll find another game.
You will. We always do.
Life always finds a way.
We always do. Keith used to get like you know me, really, right? I'll always bang on about indie games. Like if I see an indie game that I think looks cool, I'll never shut up about it. And Keith always used to get perplexed because I'd be like going on about this cool indie game I saw. Like I think I was obsessed with Ooblets for like 4 years. And every time it would come out, the indie game that I was obsessed with would come out, and then every time he would seem to think I would shut up, I would just find a new indie game to obsess over.
You'd find a way, would you, Amy?
Literally, I would just find a way to continue to obsess about indie games.
That's true. Indie games are cool.
Indie games are cool.
Indie
games are cool. Let's move back on to the news. Sorry, I was just checking the time. Bungie says opting to support reproductive choice, quote, wasn't difficult, end quote. This is from Izzy van der Velde over at The Gamer. He writes, on Monday, May 2nd, leaked documents from the United States Supreme Court revealed its desire to overturn Roe v. Wade, a case that guarantees federal protection of abortion rights. Bungie has weighed in on social media, staunchly defending people's right to bodily autonomy, and has been responding swiftly and decisively to people who are unhappy with its pro-choice stance. Since Politico broke the story, people have been taking to Twitter to voice their support for or opposition to the right to an abortion. If Roe v. Wade is overturned, safe abortions will be banned in 26 states. Given that Bungie currently allows for remote working, many of its employees will be affected by this regressive move. Bungie released a statement that asserted its commitment to, quote, safeguarding the freedom and privacy of its employees, end quote. It also denounced the draft decision as, quote, a blow to freedom in America and it's a direct attack on human rights, end quote. Unfortunately, some people are unhappy. Bungie has vocalized support for the rights of its employees and people across the country. The social media manager deserves a raise because they've been dealing with all the negative comments brilliantly. One reply, can we just stick to making video games, was met with a decisive never. Another, you are a video game company, was met with the more comical, you are a toaster, due to their profile picture being a toaster. Which, tweet of the year as far as I'm concerned.
Might be tweeting it. I kind of want to find this tweet just to like it, share it.
I'm like 99% certain it's somewhere on my feed, because I'm pretty sure
I'm gonna find this fucker. I said so. I'm gonna like this bastard.
I'm pretty sure I replied to it saying this was like the great. I don't know, maybe I might have just thought about it anyway. One longer reply stated the company should focus on pleasing video game fans and steering clear of politics. The company responded, we've chosen our side and it wasn't difficult. Our company values exist beyond our games. When another said it should stop politics as it's irrelevant to what y'all do, it responded, it's very relevant to the lives of our employees. We will never stop. So while Moody looks for the "You are a toaster" tweet, which is again chef's kiss, mwah, it's brilliant. We spend a lot of time on this podcast highlighting companies when they do bad things. And like watching Bungie's social media manager eviscerate dickheads on the internet was very entertaining way to spend a week. But also, like, we've talked a lot about companies that take like the easy route. Like they'll speak up when Black Lives Matter is a thing and say Black Lives Matter, or they'll change their profile picture to a rainbow for Pride Month, or they'll like post a picture of a woman on their social media when it's Women's History Month. And it's the really easy stuff that everybody does, so they can do it as well. But when it's difficult, yes, it's a good tweet. When it's like the difficult stuff to like speak out about and actually make a difference about, most companies will disappear and won't say anything. So I wanted to just applaud Bungie, and first and foremost just for actually writing a statement about this and speaking out about it and saying, hey, this is bullshit. As I tweeted on whenever it was that I saw Bungie doing this, like, it's cool as hell. I wish I liked Destiny more. So I could actually be like, hey, that's my video game, but I don't, sorry. But I love what you all are doing, because Bungie have had a bit of a rough go. Like, there was the stuff that came out about their toxic work culture, which we rightly said this is bad. But we talk about when we talk about that stuff, we talk about hey, actions speak louder than words, and they can say, hey, we fucked up and we're going to try and fix it. But we've seen that most companies will say that and then not do that. Whereas stuff like this from Bungie makes me think, oh, you actually
potentially are.
Because you're saying stuff like this, like that the last tweet that was highlighted, where one absolute fucknut said, oh, you should stop politics because it's irrelevant to what you all do, and Bungie responded with, it's very relevant to the lives of our employees. Yeah, it's very relevant to the lives of your employees. If you're a woman in America, this is very relevant to you, especially if you live in one of the 26 states where this safe abortions are going to be banned. And those women, some of those women work at places, right? And it might be nice if their employers would stand up for them.
Yeah. There's no doubt about shout out to Bungie and to any company who's come out and stood in support of what Bungie is doing and saying and everything like that.
I think in terms of the games,
there's not many.
I think in terms of the games industry, the only other games company that I've seen say something was Double Fine. But that's Sunday night at 21:47 in the UK, so I don't know if that's still accurate by the time this podcast goes out.
It's I've always said on multiple occasions, and I'm sorry to any American friends I have out there who are amazing people and everything like that. This is nothing against you whatsoever, but your fucking system is backwards and crazy that this type of thing can get potentially changed and not kept as law forever. And it's bonkers that this is allowed to happen. And it's bonkers just to show how little power your so-called most powerful man in the world, the president, has little. He has such little power, and it's fucking crazy. Yes, I know he's Sleepy Biden and everything like that, and he does fuck all and whatnot. But this is just absolutely fucking bonkers. The laws and the Supreme Courts and the Justice Courts and all these other courts, the multiple layers of freaking courts and laws and your Statue of Liberty and your bloody Constitution and all that crap. It's just all backwards and all up its own fucking ass, and you don't really believe in it for the most half of the freaking country, because it's proven that because you had a fucking resurrection last year. Insurrection. My apologies for that.
That's all right. Resurrection is a very different thing.
I know. Well, something did try to revive itself. But yes. Shout out to Bungie. Fuck this whole thing that's happening. This should not be happening. It's disgusting. No one should ever tell what any person to do with their body, but especially a woman, who is pregnant or whatever or anything like that. You have no person has any right to, no law, no government or anything has any right to tell you what you can and cannot put in your body. You're an asshole if you think you can, if you are.
Yeah, I don't want to dive into the specifics of this because it's a video game podcast.
Yeah,
with a time limit. And I could talk, and I have done on Twitter about this. Like, it's bullshit. Like, but it's bullshit that the striking down of Roe v. Wade, like, is one of those things where it's like, if you pay enough attention, like, this has been coming for a while, and like Mr. President Joe Biden, who keeps saying things on Twitter. I'm going to enshrine this in law. I'm going to protect these people. I'm going to do this, and then none of it ever happens. And then, I could feel a rant starting.
A lot of things. Yeah,
I can feel a rant starting. It's like I see people out there going, "Well, we just need to vote in the midterms," and it's like, y'all control the White House, Congress, and the Senate. You control everything, and if you can't stop it now, what's voting going to do? Yeah. Shout out to Bungie for actually putting out a statement on this. Shout out to their community manager for handling it, the backlash, the inevitable backlash, incredibly well. I wish we could talk about more than like 2 companies that we've seen say something. Yeah. But unfortunately, that's the video games industry. It's very easy to get them to put a rainbow on their profile page. Yeah. It's very difficult to get them to actually do something that matters.
Yeah, I think your tweet said it pretty perfectly that I won't be listening to you if you change your thing to the rainbow when it's Gay Pride's coming up soon, isn't it? So.
Oh yeah. It's Pride Month, and a bunch of companies are gonna change their thing to a rainbow, and I'm gonna point out that this is fucking performative nonsense that means nothing, and people are gonna have a go at me about it, and I'm just gonna be like, fuck you.
And I will stand by your side and hook you in your arm and take the shit with you.
Best not to hook, it's best not to hook my arm, because that's really going to limit my range of movement.
Okay, I will be your shield while you punch.
Yeah, pass me like a bat. Metaphorically.
Yeah, metaphorical bat, yeah.
But yeah, no, like, obviously, I mean, if my social media feed for the past week hasn't, or like the past like decade hasn't highlighted where I stand on issues such as this. It's like reproductive autonomy should just be a human right, and the fact that people can take it away is fucking ridiculous. The fact that like 9 unelected judges have so much power over the United States of America, like, the Republicans are more dangerous, or just as dangerous now as they were when they were running things. Yeah. How is this? How have we gotten to a point where everything is going backwards? Like, we talk about this, right? Like, we talk about, like, I feel like a common thing to say when something bad happens, or like over the sort of like the last 5-10 years, is, but things are at least moving in the right direction. Things are not moving in the right direction anymore. Like, rights that have been hard fought and won are going away or moving backwards at this point. Like, we're not moving in the right direction anymore.
Yeah, it is backwards that your quote America is the land of the home and free. This bill doesn't sound so free.
I know, and it's going to kill people. And I don't want to say like we're on a high horse here, being from the UK. Like, our country sucks.
Oh, our government sucks as well. In
so many different ways, and we are also moving in the wrong direction.
Yeah. Our idiot government may have took a battering this week, but they're still fucking in charge.
Yep. What was it like? They signed the policing bill into law, which is the thing. That's the one that cracks down on like protests and the right to protest, and includes like voter ID and stuff. And like, what we were all laughing at the guy about the tractors in Parliament, and it's just like, you realize like stuff like that is staged
distracting,
so that we miss this stuff. But we can't help it. Everybody wants to get their hot take in about the guy watching porn on his phone in the House of Parliament, and then they go, yeah, now we can do something really bad over here.
Well, the annoying thing is that the sites who actually talk about it are just, no offense, to just YouTube channels like Novara Media and everything like that. They're absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah, all media, mainstream
media.
But
they're just a YouTube channel. They're not on a news network or anything like that compared to the other shit places that do nothing when it comes to questioning the Tory bastards. Sorry, we are going off on a tangent today.
Unfortunately,
I'm not apologising for it.
No,
I'm not apologising. No,
unfortunately, Moody, our media is working exactly how is currently intended by the people who run it, and that's just a fact.
But shout out to you, Peace Morgan. Your viewership is so high, isn't it, sir? Isn't it? So high.
It reminds me of the clip of James Acaster telling Lorraine Kelly to go fuck herself. Oh, I can't remember. I've seen it on TikTok like 100 times, and it's from a couple of years ago when Piers Morgan was like having a go at all the government ministers who would come on TV to talk to him. And they were talking about like, who's your person of the year? And Lorraine Kelly went, okay, stay with me here, but Piers Morgan. And then before she had a chance to say anything else, James Acaster told her to go fuck herself. I find it really funny. He's not wrong. Piers Morgan's a terrible human being.
Oh, hell yes.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to get out of your system? Like,
life finds a way, so I'm not really sure.
Life finds a way. Classic Dino Crisis quote if I've ever heard one.
Most definitely.
Life finds a way.
Life will find a way, won't it, Capcom? Won't it, Capcom? Won't it, Capcom?
Won't it? Let's move on then. FTC opens probe into Sony's acquisition of Bungie. This is from Victoria Kennedy over at Eurogamer. He writes, the US Federal Trade Commission has opened a probe into Sony's recent acquisition of Bungie. In January, Sony announced its plans to buy Destiny maker Bungie for a tidy $3.6 billion and has become the norm as has become the norm for such deals. The FTC has opened an in-depth investigation into this takeover. According to sources, this investigation may set the closing date of this deal back by 6 months, if not more. While we were never given a firm date of when Sony had hoped to have this deal all squared away by on its initial announcement, reports now state that any closure will be happening early next year. But as noted by the information, quote, while the FTC may not be able, to block the deal, its decision to review it is the latest example of how aggressive the agency is becoming in reviewing mergers, end quote. The FTC reportedly voiced concerns that Bungie's future games may become Sony platform exclusives. However, this is something the developer itself has previously stated will not happen. Quote, no, we want the world we are creating to extend to anywhere people play games. We will continue to be self-published, creatively independent, and we will continue to drive one unified Bungie community, end quote. That's Bungie in January. Acquisition is spelt wrong in this document.
Really, isn't it? What's wrong with these writers?
I don't know. There's a lot of spelling mistakes this week.
I know.
And it wasn't me.
This isn't a surprise just because of like with all the chatter about Microsoft's
Trump's not in charge anymore. Like, so you've got people here, while will not actually be able to stop any of this stuff, is at least paying attention.
Yeah, there's that as well. But yeah, no, it's like this is not a surprise whatsoever. That's all I'm gonna say, really.
No, I mean it's like if anyone's like.
If they think this is going to stop the deal, it's not.
Sony might get a monopoly because they've bought one video game developer. Like, sure. There was something I was going to say, and it's just gone out my brain. Like, I've still got a bit of that head fog going on from having COVID. Like, as I was reading it, I was like, aha. And then...
Oh, the COVID, that was my fault.
Yes, that was your fault. Yes, 100%. Oh, the thing about them saying, like, oh, like... we're definitely not going to make our games exclusive to PlayStation. And if you believe that, I have a bridge to sell you.
I think like new IPs will become exclusive.
Of course they will.
That. But I think like Bungie,
Destiny will never be.
Yeah,
because it's already a thing.
And like obviously Sony will get first right dibs on like when it comes to new content. Like we'll stay exclusive on there maybe for like a month or maybe longer because obviously
they've had
the
exclusive
acquisition.
content before, like with deals and stuff. Because I remember I played Destiny 2 on PlayStation, and like they had like strikes and stuff where it's like you could only get these if you played it on PlayStation.
But my assessment is that the deals will always be longer now because obviously they acquire them.
Yeah,
and own them.
They'll own
sometime
them
next year. So
Bungie's future games will definitely be exclusive to PlayStation.
Yeah, the new IPs and everything, or whatever they create and everything. Yeah, I can't see. No, there's nothing wrong with that.
No. I just find the idea that
fans and listeners. That's what I mean.
I just find the idea that anyone is going to try and convince me otherwise is. I find it amusing.
Is really coming to PlayStation. People.
I find it amusing.
Like, said it.
Yeah, we had this discussion back and forth. Everybody was going, "Oh, well, what about this? Well, what about that?" It's like they're going to be Xbox exclusives. But Phil said, "I don't give a shit what Phil said."
The thing is, this is a funny little thing here, and I'm going off another tangent. Sure. I apologize for this. Like, everyone's like obviously like who's complaining about all these acquisitions and everything like that. And I can appreciate where everyone's coming from when it comes to like a lot of companies have gobbled up a lot of studios and everything like that. Microsoft are the ones who started this, practically, by gobbling up, what was it, 10 studios, announcing that like 4 or 5 E3s ago.
Yeah.
And then like 2 years after that, they bought Bethesda. And everyone was like, what? And then everyone was like, what are Sony going to do and everything?
No, it's bad when Xbox do it, but it's good when PlayStation do it. That's the narrative I seem to be getting off of Twitter.
Yeah. That narrative has always been there, and it's unfair on Microsoft that. But at the same time, but everyone who's complaining about all acquisitions in general, it is Microsoft who basically started this.
Yeah.
Because they needed to catch up. We all knew this. Like, they had like 6 studios who were creating exclusives at the time until they bought like 10 studios.
They didn't have very many. We had a discussion on the podcast like years and years ago. We were saying it's like, it's all well and good saying they need games, but who are they going to get to make them? Past Amy said. Past Amy was a prophet. That's all I'm going to say.
yeah, it really was. Which is like, it's going to be interesting. Like, as long as the studios are getting looked after, that's all I care about at the end of the day. And as long as they're getting throwing out great games. That's
while we're in this tangent. Number one, I am obviously not a big fan of acquisitions, but it's more down to like workers' rights stuff as opposed to video game exclusives. I don't give a shit about video game exclusives. But number two, I remember that discussion when I talked about that thing. It was when the rumors came out that Microsoft might be buying EA, and the discussion was, that's fucking insane. That's so ludicrous. Nothing like that will ever happen. And here we are, a Bethesda and an Activision Blizzard later.
Yeah, that's insane. I know.
Now it's just normal. If Microsoft bought EA tomorrow, we would literally just probably go, yeah.
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
There wouldn't be a holy shit. Well, there would be a holy shit. Like, Jesus, they've bought EA, but it wouldn't be like this is unbelievable. It would be fucking hell. They actually did it. The mad bastards.
The mad bastards.
It's funny what can change in a few years.
It really can. It's funny that a $1 trillion company who has a war chest what they can do with all their money.
I know, right? It's like they've got infinite money.
I know.
Amazing what you can do when you've got infinite money. You could probably fix some of the world's problems. No, we're just going to buy video game companies. All right, cool.
You could buy Twitter.
Maybe. I see that deal isn't going so well for the Twitter purchase.
I haven't seen anything, so I can't say it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just see what people retweet. Funny enough, no one on my timeline seems to like Elon Musk. I can't figure out why. That was sarcasm. New York sues Activision Blizzard over Microsoft acquisition. This is from Brandon Sinclair over at gamesindustry.biz, who writes, the New York City Employees Retirement System and pension funds have filed suit against Activision Blizzard over its planned sale to Microsoft, according to an Axios report. The outlet reports that the complaint was filed in Delaware's Court of Chancery last week, accusing Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick of hurrying the sale process and hurting the company's value in order to avoid fallout. Did we do this last week?
I can't remember.
Potix.
Keep chatting.
Okay. Last week, accusing Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick of hurrying the sale process and hurting the company's value in order to avoid fallout from the publisher's multiple gender discrimination lawsuits and workplace harassment scandals. The complaint is seeking access to a number of documents, including those related to the 5 other potential buyers Activision Blizzard said it had in an SEC filing about the merger. The suit adds, quote, given Kotick's personal responsibility and liability for Activision's broken workplace, it should have been clearer to the board that he was unfit to negotiate a sale of the company, end quote. An Activision representative told GamesIndustry.biz, quote, we disagree with the allegations made in this complaint and look forward to presenting our arguments in court. Yeah.
No, we didn't. There was a few Activision stories, like accusations of threatening employees, speaking out, potential of the staff winning a legal battle, stockholders vote in favor of the acquisition, and Activision lost a third of their active users.
Damn.
So no, we did not talk about it.
It's all starting to bleed together.
Yeah. This, again, just like with a few stories I've said already, this is not a surprise to me whatsoever. Like, we all knew this is what Bobby Kotick was trying to do when the announcement was happened that Microsoft were in to acquire Activision. That this was because Bobby Kotick saw a way out, and he went for it.
Yeah,
and this is not a surprise. We all know this. Like, so
it's nice that
if something happens,
great, as Tony the Tiger would say. I don't know why I decided to do Tony the Tiger. I'm just trying to mix things up a bit, I guess. Yeah. Like anyone, like Bobby Kotick definitely was looking to sell the company quickly because that would mean he was going to face less consequences for being the literal devil. So,
yeah, from the time, from all the announcements that were revealed and the accusations and all that was revealed, what was July, I think, last year?
Something like that. Probably.
What was it? November, the reveal was the Activision one. Was the
the timeline as well. So I would say, I think it was summer last year. When all the stuff came out
from a year,
from
with
that
all
moment,
of that happening, an acquisition has been sought.
Yeah. Well, because Microsoft even came out and said, like, it was like 3 days after the story broke that they went in for this deal. Like, the second, like, Bobby Kotick would have known that this story was coming out well before it actually came out because they would have contacted Activision Blizzard for comment. Like, the original stories that came out implicated the company and certain individuals at the company who weren't Bobby Kotick. And whatever Kotick said next, he would have known that at some point it would have been pointed out that he did some of the things, which we found out later. Threatening one of his employees, I believe, was one of the things in that news story. So the moment he was like, shit, I'm going to get fucking tied up in this big style. Like, not just because I run the company, but personally, I need to get the fuck out of here as fast as possible, but I need to do it in a way where I get lots of money. Time to sell the company. Like, that's the chain. Like, I'm not saying that that's the chain. For legal reasons, I'm not saying that's definitely the chain of events. What I would say is that it certainly looks like that could have been the case. Potentially.
Allegedly.
I
had to throw it in there.
That word just means nothing in my brain anymore. Like, it's lost all meaning. Like, I don't know what allegedly even means anymore.
I went to the toilet, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I had pizza last night, allegedly.
Damn
you, Keith!
I did actually have pizza last night.
So did I.
Nice. Mine was just a cheese pizza.
So was mine.
Holy shit.
What else did we have?
That was it last night.
Yeah.
Tonight I had a load of potato skins. Well, nice. They were They said load of potato skins, right? They weren't potato skins. They were potatoes that had been chopped in half and had a load of cheese and bacon put on the top. They weren't the skin. They weren't loaded skins. They were just potatoes, which I'm not mad about. I like potatoes, but I was like, These aren't potato skins. So I was fine because they tasted nice while also being mildly disappointed.
That's the story of your life, no offense, Amy. It's fine, but I'm mildly disappointed.
It was fine because it was fine because it's I technically like it, but I was also disappointed at the same time. The Amy Alexander story.
Yeah, that's your book. You know that, right? That's your title of your book.
Oh, I'm writing a book now, am I?
Yeah.
What have we got? I don't really give a shit about talking about Ubisoft, so we'll do this as the last story. This is a long one, but I feel like we should talk about it. Activision urges shareholders to vote against proposed misconduct report. This is from Andy Chalk over at PC Gamer. He writes, Activision Blizzard is urging shareholders to vote against two proposals on the table at its upcoming annual shareholder meeting. One that would see an, quote, employee representative, end quote, added to its board of directors, and another that calls for the creation of an annual public report on the company's efforts to combat abuse, harassment, and discrimination in the workplace. Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard will naturally loom large at this year's shareholders meeting, but the company's handling of widespread workplace misconduct allegations that have come to light over the past year and the unionization efforts they helped catalyze are also major points of focus. Excuse me a second. Just clearing my throat. CEO Bobby Kotick said in his opening comments of the shareholders' annual meeting notice, quote, Activision Blizzard has implemented a number of initiatives designed to enhance our workplace culture. Maintaining the very best workplace remains our focus, and we believe having such a workplace will give us a competitive advantage in attracting and retaining the highly in-demand talent we need to operate successfully. We intend for Activision Blizzard to be recognized as a model for other companies to emulate in the areas of inclusion, respect, and safety. We have made achieving this objective a top priority for the near and long term, as we believe this will enable us to deliver the very best games for our players and returns for our shareholders, end quote. Activision Blizzard is urging shareholders to vote against two proposals on the table at the upcoming annual shareholder meeting. Wait, this is the same part of the story. Excuse me while I scroll down. Like, it's just repeated. I just repeated the first 4 paragraphs again in the document. I'm sorry. Imagine if I just read it all without noticing. Moody's just sat there going, what the fuck? What the fuck's happening?
Deja vu.
Anyway, sorry. Kotick said Activision Blizzard has made significant progress toward improving workplace conditions through, quote, new resources, commitments, and investment in our workplace with respect to the prevention of harassment, discrimination, and retaliation, end quote, and noted that the company now publicly releases data on pay equity and employee representation. All noteworthy steps, no doubt, but at the same time, the company opposes 2 shareholder proposals that would seem to extend those efforts even further. One proposal recommends that an employee representative director nominated by non-management employees be added to Activision Blizzard's board of directors. The presence of employee representation on the board, which is, quote, common in Europe, end quote, that's true, according to the proposal, can improve communications, employee relations, and productivity. Also very important, from a shareholder's perspective at least, a recent German study said, quote, did not find any negative profitability effects or detrimental changes in wages or investment levels resulting from employee representation on boards, end quote. Activision's board of directors rejected that position, however, saying that in allowing employees to select their own representative to sit on the board, quote, seeks to replace the careful judgment of the board as to the criteria that should be reflected in a director candidate pool, end quote. Save it for afterwards. There's plenty more to read, Amy. Quote, the board and nominating and corporate governance committee must have discretion to determine the director criteria to best serve the shareholders of the company, as this continuously evolving criteria is necessary to help guide the company in achieving its strategic priorities and managing risk. This is particularly important in light of the scope and complexity of the company's business. Providing non-management employees with a dedicated position on the board, utilizing a different process for board representation, or applying a different set of qualifications would adversely affect the role of the board in this process, end quote. Just composing myself. The second proposal for an annual report detailing Activision Blizzard efforts to combat workplace abuse and misconduct and results arising from those efforts was met with similar disdain. Quote, First, the board believes that rather than diverting energy and resources towards creating yet another report, we should continue to directly respond to employee concerns, the board wrote. Focusing all our attention on these concerns is the best way quickly and effectively to create genuine change in our workplace. Second, the proposed report itself, even if completed after significant time and expense, would create a set of metrics that are simply not the best measures of how the company is responding to employee concern. The board is committed to measuring the speed and effectiveness of our changes accurately, not based on metrics that are not precisely tailored to our company's situation, end quote. Would you believe there's still more? The company also warned that disclosing such data publicly, even aggravated, quote, could potentially reveal more information about an individual employee's allegations than that employee wished to reveal, end quote. Excluding data at employee request, on the other hand, would lead to potentially inaccurate or misleading results. Either way, the proposed reports would, quote, divert resources away from our continuous efforts to improve our workplace culture and ensure a safe working environment, end quote. The responses to the proposals bear more than a passing resemblance to Activision Blizzard's reaction to unionization talk in 2021, when it said that improvements in the workplace could be more quickly and effectively implemented without a union. Unsurprisingly, that statement drew considerable scorn on social media, but Activision Blizzard repeated it in a brief note on the progress of the unionization campaign currently underway at Raven Software. You know what? I have read a lot of statements from a lot of companies. That's the closest I've ever come to just smashing my Chromebook while regurgitating these words.
They contradict themselves and go so many times through that statement. It's fucking hilarious.
The amount of bullshit I just said out loud. Like, I need to go and take a bath after this.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I think I agree with you there. It makes... Like, from the beginning, the statement contradicts themselves straight away. That they want to help their employees by not agreeing to these two proposals. They want to fight against their employees by not agreeing with these proposals, which would what they are hoping that will happen and everything, and yet you're fighting against this just because.
Just because.
That's all.
Just because.
Yeah.
No, because they think they can handle they're changing their workplace culture better if nobody knows what they're doing. I got news for you, fucknuts. That was the problem for the last 30 years. I think it was 30 years. I might be overreaching there on the time limit, but it's been decades. We can measure the time in decades. Like, literally, the entire reason the Activision Blizzard board doesn't want this report to be generated has nothing to do with the workload or accidentally revealing too much about an employee's allegations. It's got everything to do with the fact that they can't pretend that this stuff isn't still happening if a report keeps coming out every year that we can all read and see what's going on at Activision Blizzard. That's it. The bottom line. I've skipped straight to the bottom line why they don't want this report to happen. Because if a report comes out 12 months from now that says, here's all the shit that's going on at Activision Blizzard, we get to talk about that. Whereas if a report doesn't come out in 12 months, we just don't talk about it. I mean, not that many people would talk about Activision Blizzard 12 months from now, but, there.
Yeah. This is the thing. If they were doing such a great job, Bobby Kotick would not have been trying to find a way to sell them.
If you are equipped to do this job effectively, you would not be in the situation you're in right now.
Exactly. Activision, you are a sinking ship right now, and your only way out is to survive in some sort of way is by getting acquired, which is insane to think that Activision is going to get acquired in the next 18 months.
Yeah,
it still baffles me hearing that, but yes. Your only way to save this was to get acquired, and me and Amy have already spoken multiple times already over the last few weeks of that. I'm kind of worried what Microsoft could do with this, could do with them, because they haven't been doing so great with some of their studios already. Just accept what the people are wanting you to do. That'll be a good light. We want to say nice things about video games and the industry in general. And I wouldn't mind saying some nice things about you, Activision. You see, if I hear next week, or whatever this thing is, and I hear that you guys have put these things through and you've accepted them, I'll go, well done. You actually are saying you're actually trying. I'm still wait. I will want to see more proof further down the line, but I will say those things. I will happily say those things. But you're making it so easy to see that you're not going to vote for these things. You're going to actively fight against these things. It's like watching the Tory government right now.
At the end of the day, like, literally, like, these two things, right? Like, both of them are about accountability. The fact that you don't want accountability tells me you still have something to hide.
Yes.
Like, these grand initiatives that Bobby Kotick and co have implemented in the company, I'm just going to say it right now. I don't believe you. I don't believe that these initiatives have been implemented. If they have been implemented, I don't believe they're being followed. Because I feel like if they had been implemented and if they were being followed, you would want to scream about them from the rooftops. And the fact that you don't want this report to come out tells me that you're not wanting to scream them from the rooftops. It's that simple. And as for the fact that, like, we can't just have we can't just have a group of employees, like, nominate someone to be on the board because, being on the board requires a certain skill set. Being a shareholder in a company requires 0 skills. Anybody can do it. I'm done. I just what happened? I blacked out.
I'll simplify this for you, board of directors and shareholders. Why you should be voting these things through. What Amy said there is spot on. You are hiding something else, and if that ever comes out, which it probably will eventually, you will be lucky to survive in this industry. Because I have a feeling it's worse than we've already had. What could be worse to an employee who took her own life under your care? And you are fighting against 2 proposals who could make employees' lives potentially a lot more better at your company, and you're actively fighting them. A person killed themselves because of an employee that you guys defended. And you think that's okay? You think that is okay because you're fighting against these. That tells us everything about who you guys, gals, people are.
Yeah, like there's any fucking queer people on the board of directors of Activision Blizzard.
That just tells us everything. You're fighting against a bill, 2 bills that could help people, and your company who has an employee still under your state. You believe he's still there? I believe he's still there.
Honestly, I'd have to look it up.
Who tormented a person who killed themselves, and you're okay with that? Just think about that.
I know
you
resigned.
won't hear this.
I think he resigned. Just to add to that, like, I'm searching.
But they defended him.
But they did defend him.
Yeah,
they
defended him. That makes it worse, and they hid this until it was announced. They hid it. That's the thing about it. Yeah, this person killed themselves, and they hid it because they knew how damaging this could be. And if they're hiding something else, what the hell? What's worse than that? Bobby Kotick threatening someone over the thingy?
Sorry, I thought you were about to move into speculation. And I was just like, I need to drown this out.
Bobby Kotick shouting down an answering phone saying he's going to get someone to kill someone he knows? What the hell, man? This board on shareholders make no effing sense.
They're just trying to protect their money. Like, the thing you've got to remember about shareholders, like the shareholders of the company, the board of the directors of the company, they're just trying to protect their own money. That's all they're trying. They don't care about anything else but the money that doesn't exist because they're shareholders. It's not actual money. It's all made up.
But it makes no sense even more because if they put these 2 things through, potentially they will make more money because the developers and staff will potentially become more happy and want to stay and create your games.
I mean, yeah, potentially, depending on...
They just don't like the word potentially.
What comes out from this information, from this report, like what information comes out from a report that's generated might actually be more detrimental to them as shareholders than the report not existing. Sorry, I'm done.
No. Again, just my thoughts and prayers go to the family of that person.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. Yeah.
No, let's get through the tidbits.
Yeah, there's not that many. Number one, Intel says global chip shortage will continue into 2024. We just skipped 2023. We just went straight to 2024. Remember when they said the global chip shortage will only last like 12 months?
It's going to last until the pandemic's over.
It's weird that it's like loads of like hardships that popped up in the last couple of years are continuing for some inexplicable reason. It's weird. It's like we're ignoring something huge and massive that's still happening and is actually affecting us worse and worse. Like,
Yeah.
do you remember when we used to say in 2020, like, oh, if we're not careful, we'll have a second wave of COVID? Like, we're now on our fifth wave.
I thought I was going to say our 10th.
No, it's our fifth wave. But like the thing about the way COVID is going to work, as long as we keep doing the things that we're doing, which is nothing, like we're just going to keep going up and down. Like more people are catching COVID. Like the death rate is the same point it was. Actually, I don't want to say that because I saw a graph at some point in the past when it was really high. Our death rate is now really high again. Like because it's a numbers game. Like, oh, Omicron, the current strain that's going around everybody, like it's milder than Delta or Alpha or whatever the other ones were called. It's like, yeah, but if more people are catching it, it becomes a numbers game. Like, and it's, yeah, chip shortage. Good luck trying to fucking make a next generation console like the PS6 and Xbox fucking Spectrum ZX or whatever the fuck they decide to call the next consoles. Those things are fucked.
Better not now. Xbox Spectrum ZX.
If it's called ZX, I'm taking the credit for that.
I'm taking the money for that. when I win the bet.
Is that the lottery win that we were just talking about?
Put it on the bet. Yeah.
Yeah, like I just want a new graphics card, man. Like at this point, I would love a new graphics card, and I'm never going to be able to afford
It'd be
one.
simpler for you just to buy a new PC.
The problem is the graphics card goes in the PC is going to be stupidly expensive. Like if I can't afford a graphics card, I definitely can't afford a new PC. And the rest of my PC is in good nick. Like the processor's not that old because I upgraded it. It was before the pandemic. Yeah.
So 2019.
Probably, yeah. The Division 2 was the game I got for free with it, so I think it was 2019. Then? No, it was 2019. Okay. Division 2 release date, because it's going to bug me. Yeah, 2019.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Wow, that came out in 2019?
Sure did.
God, I once forgot about that game.
I actually played quite a bit of it, to be honest.
I know you did.
Next one. Final Fantasy 16 is, quote, coming together greatly, end quote, with a trailer, quote, coming soon, end quote.
Give me it this year, you bastards! I need a win on that game.
I thought you're really excited about playing Final Fantasy 16. Wow, I didn't think you were this hyped for the game.
2023, no, my fucking luck. Just like fucking Elden Ring, they're gonna fuck me over at the end. And they're gonna say January as well. That's what pisses me off.
January 1st.
Oh no!
Oh
no.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, so it's coming. State of Play is coming soon, then, right?
I think so. Yeah, I'll be surprised if we don't hear an announcement soon.
But I would have thought they'd go in May before like all the summer of gaming stuff.
They potentially could still. We're only on the 8th of May, so
they don't give you a lot of
time.
Warning when those things are gonna happen. But I feel like either a specifically Final Fantasy state of play or that's just a normal state of play will probably happen. Although, like, Square Enix could do something, I suppose, for the summer of gaming. They've done conferences and stuff in the past. They're always terrible, but they have done them.
Because it's exclusive to PlayStation, for me, it's PlayStation will want to say it. I think.
Yeah, that's true.
It's Square Enix's own game and everything like that.
Oh, definitely.
Buy them.
Well, what I'm thinking is you could do a 1-2 punch. You could go Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2. They're both PlayStation games, so
and triple blow it with Final Fantasy IX remake at the end, and I'll be just like, oh my fucking
That'll be
God!
a fucking Xbox exclusive somehow.
Yeah, that'll be the greatest conference of all time. The rest of the one we'll completely forgotten about, but just because of that three combo punch.
Yeah.
Oh, good God.
4 combo punch. We're bringing all of the pixel remasters that we released on Switch on Steam to Switch, because I feel like that, not for us, not for you and I, but I think a lot of people would like those games on Switch.
Yeah, well, that's definitely a Nintendo thing, because I don't think Square Enix are going to do a conference. I think they're just going to leave it to the companies to do it.
Well, I mean, they just lost like 3 of their studios. So. No, just think though, matey. Next time we watch a Square Enix press conference, we won't have to sit through 10 minutes of what's happening with Avengers.
That's true. Yeah, we'll talk about blockchains instead.
Yeah, we'll be talking about the next fucking blockchain game. It's like how you can play to earn with this game. Like I noticed that Axie Infinity, the biggest play to earn game, got like hacked and lost fucking millions of dollars, and I just cackled into my phone.
Yeah.
It's just like this is just all the way down. It's just a pyramid scheme.
This is the greatest thing I've read this week.
Today.
Not today.
You are, to be fair, the greatest thing I read this week was You Are a Toaster.
That is true. Respect.
Ewan McGregor hints that Obi-Wan series could tie in with Jedi Fallen Order sequel.
Don't care.
Yeah?
I don't care.
Are you excited for either?
I am excited for Obi-Wan.
I'm excited for the Jedi Fallen Order sequel.
I think Obi-Wan's going to be... I think it's going to be really, really good. I think the latest trailer was absolutely fantastic. Jedi Fallen Order... I enjoyed the game. I just wasn't as hyped as what everyone else was thinking about it and everything. But it's Star Wars. Come on, man. I'll still play it and I'll be like sucked in just by the opening credits. It's like, oh my God.
I hope the character that you meet on Darth Maul's planet gets a bigger role, because she was cool.
Well, the love interest, what somehow becomes a love. Everyone says there's a love interest.
Yeah,
and it's like, what love interest? There's no love interest connection that I could tell.
I don't know. I hope that's just a friend thing, because I like the little family dynamic they've got going on with the characters on the spaceship. I forget a lot of the plot details of Jedi Fallen Order. But I remember the basics. There was a spaceship.
I remember Darth Vader at the end, and he bitch slapped you so hard. It felt good because that's what needed to happen. It's like, if we fought back and pushed him back, I would have cried.
He bitch slapped me so hard I put the game on easy.
He did as well. I remember that. He said that. I'm getting bitch slapped. Easy mode it is.
I'll finish this game in easy mode. Thank you. Still kick the shit out of me.
He did, yeah.
What else we got? Oh yeah, there's loads of things going around about TVs being smashed thanks to Switch Sports. It's like the early 2000s all over again.
I was gonna say it's the early 2000s again.
You see, Snowbike.
Are you surprised by this?
Snowbike Mike yeeted his Joy-Con into the ceiling on a stream. I saw the clip being shared.
What?
Sorry, they were playing Switch Sports on Kind of Funny Games, I think.
He obviously didn't have the straps on.
He didn't have the straps on. No, he yeeted his fucking... They were playing bowling and he yeeted his Joy-Con.
Well, if he's...
bang into the ceiling.
I love you to bits, Snowbike Mike, but if you're not going to use the straps, then that's all on you, boy. Happy birthday, by the way, so I hope you're having a great day.
Oh, yeah, it's his birthday. Happy birthday. Without Facebook to remind me of people's birthdays, I have forgotten everybody's birthday.
It was Twitter. It was Joe Medforce who revealed it was his birthday.
She just revealed it like it's a fucking video game revealed. It's and one more thing. Oh, we need to do a shout out. We need to do a shout out for Joe's new podcast. We'll do it next week on next week's podcast, because I don't want to bury it 2 hours into the podcast. Ridiculous passions. It's going to be good. Lastly, a streamer modded a Fisher Price controller to play Elden Ring on Xbox. It's a literal child's controller, and it plays as Xbox, so you can play Elden Ring with a Fisher Price controller.
Respect, I guess.
I remember calling the Wii U gamepad a Fisher Price controller because of how cheap it felt. in a video once. I think I was playing Star Fox Zero, and that video ended with me throwing the controller across the room. And that's not hyperbole. I literally threw it across the room. But you can't see that video anymore because it was pre-2017, 2018. And I unlisted it. Those are your tidbits. See, I told you that wasn't that many. It's a slow week for low-level news stories. Which I guess tidbits is kind of a thing for the things we want to talk about, but we don't really need to.
Damn it, he won again.
Talk about. Anyway, it's time for games out this week. On May 10th, we've got 3 games coming out. We Were Here Forever comes to PC. You both awaken imprisoned inside the sinister Castle Rock. Were you betrayed or simply not that clever? Find out in the newest co-op puzzle adventure in the We Were Here series. Do you and your partner have what it takes to face the dark forces of this realm, or will you be trapped forever? Salt and Sacrifice is also coming to PlayStation and PC. As a marked inquisitor, you'll journey through the western frontier, pursuing, hunting, and obliterating the mages that roam the realm. Craft unique weapons and armor from the otherworldly flesh and bones of the mages you destroy. Lastly, on May 10th, Euden Chronicle Rising comes to PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, PC, and Game Pass. Euden Chronicle Rising is an action RPG set in the same world as Euden Chronicle 100 Heroes. Features tower upgrading mechanics and fast-paced combat, a prequel to the world of the Euden Chronicle 100 Heroes. And if you were thinking, what's Euden Chronicle 100 Heroes? I've never heard of it. It's because it hasn't come out yet. The prequel's coming out a year before the main game. That's not how prequels work, guys. On May 11th, Brigandine, The Legend of Runergia comes to PC. The continent of Runergia is home to 6 major powers with more than 40 bases, 100 knights, and 50 types of monsters. Select a ruler, organize knights, monsters into troops, and conquer enemy bases. Also on May 11th, Source of Madness comes to PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Source of Madness is a side-scrolling dark action roguelike set in a twisted Lovecraftian-inspired world powered by procedural generation and AI machine learning. Take on the role of a new acolyte as they embark on a nightmarish odyssey. On May 12th, Flippin' Cactus comes to PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Flippin' Cactus is a brutal 2D action vendetta with retro-inspired graphics and an 80s vibe, featuring a spiky hero with a thorny past and Rage Outbreaks combat style. Also on May 12th, the Centennial Case, the Shijima story, comes to PlayStation, Switch, and PC. Unravel the mysteries of death and find the answers to life. A unique mystery adventure game, the Centennial Case, a Shijima story. And then lastly, on May 13th, Evil Dead, the game, comes to PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Step into the shoes of Ash Williams or his friends from the iconic Evil Dead franchise and work together in a game loaded with over-the-top co-op and PvP multiplayer action. Shit, that's coming out this week. Phil's gonna want to play it. He's been talking about it since they revealed it. Like, he really likes Evil Dead, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll play it with you," because he's got no one else to play it with.
Speaking of Evil Dead, I see Sam Raimi's film tomorrow. He directed Evil Dead.
He did.
He did.
I hear Bruce Campbell's got a cameo in it, but then Bruce Campbell's got a cameo in all Sam Raimi's films.
I was gonna say, like, they're best friends. So.
Yes. But I'm gonna have to try and get a hold of this game and play it. Shit. Oh well. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be good. You don't want to come and play it with me and Phil? No.
Nah, I'm good, thank you.
Okay. It's time for OpenCritic Head to Head. This is the game myself and Moody play every single week where we try to guess the OpenCritic average of one upcoming game. Whoever guesses closest to the score gets 1 point. If you guess the score correctly, you get 2 points. Last week, we tried to guess the OpenCritic average of Trek to Yomi. I guessed it would get a 77. Moody guessed it would get an 88. And at the time of recording, Trek to Yomi has an OpenCritic average of 73, which gives me the point and puts the current scores at Amy 7, Moody 7. I don't have anything else to say. I haven't played it yet, so... I've tried some other games instead. Like Game Pass has been working overtime for me this week because there's been I downloaded 5 games that have come out in the past few weeks.
I need to download some games as well.
So many games have come, like so many cool looking indie games have come out recently, and I'm looking forward to trying them. I've tried one. I didn't gel with it. Review will be coming up on the YouTube channel soon. And I'm just gonna move on to trying another one. That's the beauty of Game Pass. I can try something and be like, no, it didn't cost me anything. What's next?
Nice.
But this week, we're going to try and guess the OpenCritic average of Evil Dead the game. Phil, cover your ears. 60. Cover your ears. I think we're about to be unkind about Evil Dead. Sorry to anyone who might have worked on the game. It's by the developers of Predator, isn't it? Hunting Grounds. Or did I read that wrong? I want to look it up now.
That might change my number.
That's funny. I typed in Evil Dead, the game developer, and it's showing me the publisher. Ironically, a studio owned by the Embracer Group. I feel like that's a lovely bookend to the whole podcast.
They start the conversation, they end the conversation.
Saber Interactive. Previous video games include World War Z. That was actually a pretty good game. Me and Keith played that a bit when it came out. I clicked on what I thought. Yeah, I'll let you change your answer. That's fine. I clicked on what I thought was their Wikipedia page. It wasn't. They don't have one. I don't. There. No. Saber Interactive video games. Apparently, I've searched for this before. Okay, here we go. Games developed. Let's have a look. Wow. World War Z, SnowRunner, Crisis Remasters. Interesting. They developed the PC ports for the Halo games. In the Master Chief, yeah. Yeah, because it says Microsoft Windows, Halo 2 Anniversary, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, Halo 4, Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary.
Did they do Predator?
No. They did not do Predator. Oh, I think they might be doing... They've come up recently. I've got to look it up now. They're doing the Ghostbusters game. You know, the multiplayer Ghostbusters game that got announced recently.
Oh, with Greg Miller as the voice.
Yeah, that's what Ilphonic are doing. I knew they were doing something. So yeah, I don't know if you want to change your 60, but it's not them. It's
60.
60. Cool. I'm gonna fight my worst instincts on this one. Because you know what I was going to say.
You're going to say 69.
I sure was. I'm going to say 66. I was going to go... I was going to go down. But then looking them up and being like, oh, they developed like some decent games. Like
I was tempted to maybe go a little bit higher because she said SnowRunner, didn't
SnowRunner they developed.
That has an 80 on
it. I see people still streaming that. People like SnowRunner.
But it's a licensed game at the same time, but makes me think it's going to be look bad.
Oh, yeah. What did World War Z actually get on OpenCritic? I'm curious.
71, I think it said.
World War Z. I know it's World War Z, but I'm British. Fuck you. 71, yeah. Surprised it got that low, but... I remember having a pretty good time with it.
I know you had a good time with it, but I played it and I was just like, this is trash, personally.
That's true. You are much closer to the mainstream opinion than I am.
Definitely, obviously. We already know this. This is facts. Facts. Absolute borderline facts.
Like, I tend to... Yeah.
So, Moon Knight.
I don't even know if it's like a good thing that I'm so far away from mainstream opinion or not. Like, Sometimes I wish I liked the things that other people liked. It gives me more to talk about with them.
Oh God, no, Jesus.
Remember when I was
You
on
do
my
you,
Xbox?
Amy.
I remember when I was on my Xbox with me, and like literally, like because you talked about what you've been playing, and like I just sit there for ages, like, wow, AAA. Some of like people who are on that podcast would be like, I played this AAA game, and I'd just be like,
They're over games, guys.
no, not even that. It would just be like, I didn't touch it, sorry, or I didn't like it, and then I'd be like, well. Time for me to strap in. It's going to be a contentious podcast. I'll never forget.
I
will never forget.
It was fun time.
I will never forget giving Sonic Forces the same score I gave Assassin's Creed Origins. That did not go down well.
I know you said. It's like a subjective opinion. It's not important.
Almost, right? Almost.
We love you. We love the team over my Xbox One. They're absolutely amazing. But that was funny when you told me that at the same time.
Yeah. I didn't do it on purpose. Like I wasn't trolling or anything. I just did what I did and didn't consider the consequences of my actions. that can be the title of my second book.
Yeah, it really should be. Yeah. Are you writing these title names down?
I'm not, but luckily this is a video, so I can just come back to them
true.
anytime I want. Anyway, that's gonna do it for episode 303 of the Words About Games podcast. Moody, we're pretty much on time, despite spending the first 25 minutes of the podcast not talking about video games
and having some tangents throughout the episode at the same time.
I'm pretty sure, like, my neighbors heard my opinions about Activision Blizzard shareholders. I did not regulate my volume at all.
And you shouldn't.
And I usually do. Just, I'm usually respectful of the people around me and stuff like that. But, like, I don't know. Sometimes
Activision just brings the worst out of you.
Just go for it. It used to be Konami.
It was. Then it was Ubisoft.
Years ago. Then it was Ubisoft. There's probably other companies in between there. But Activision Blizzard. I would like to go a week without a news story coming out about Activision Blizzard that I see and go, oh, shit, I should probably bring that up on the podcast. 1 week. Moody's last week before he's off again. Please give me that video game industry. Just 1 week without fucking Activision Blizzard news.
Oh, God. So. Oh, no. I'm not worried.
That's the monkey's paw that is curled and we'll probably get a fucking and Jason Schreier expose about a completely new company.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Moody. I'm sorry. We should get out of here before I make it worse. Oh, God. That's going to do it for episode 303 of the Words About Games podcast. I'm getting out of here before I say something stupid. That's the title of my third book.
I just realized I'm only away for 3 weeks.
Yeah, because you're coming back for E3.
Yeah. Well, 12.
That's cool. I only need to find 3 co-hosts. Last time I was in that situation, I got COVID the 3rd week, so,
and then I'm off for 1 week, and then I'm back the week after.
Okay. I can live with that.
Yeah.
I like having you here more than not, so.
Oh, aren't you sweet?
I say these things and I think they sound really nice in my head, and then when I hear them back as I say them out of my mouth, I'm like, that didn't sound as nice as I thought it was going to.
Because after 9 times out of 10, what you say always comes with a bit of sarcasm.
That is true, but I don't know how to counteract that at this point. Sarcasm was my defense mechanism for so long. I can't just. It's now a part of me. It's like my entire being. It's woven through the fabric of my identity. So, oops.
Oops, indeed.
Bye,
everybody. Much love.
I was literally about to say bye, maybe. Wow, you got the head thing going on. Like, I can't do that. I haven't got the coordination. I do the Star Trek. Oh.